This video will demonstrate some basics using the new Polara Field Service app for Android. You can see on my phone I've installed the app. It's available in the Play Store. You type in Polara and then you can download the app onto your device. So you can see when I open the app, it is looking for buttons within range. It has found two buttons that I have operating right now, a 2-wire and a 3-wire button. I'm going to connect to my 2-wire button. This has the same feature that when you press on the button that you want to connect with, the push button station LED light will flash back at you to confirm this is the button you're going to communicate with. So you can see at the top here, the menu on this is slightly different from the Apple or the iOS system. This is showing that I'm connected to the button with the information, and then you'll notice that the menu is a vertical up and down menu, very nicely laid out. So you can see the first thing here is push button status. I can actually open that and you can see that my button just got pressed, so getting live feedback from that button. Then you can see you have the health log, so I can click on read that health log, and then I have the opportunity with this top right menu ellipses to either clear the health log or export it. Go back to the menu. Now there's an option for firmware update, but first I want to show the file manager. The file manager gives you a quick indication of the push button firmware files, then the control unit firmware files, and then your audio files. So in this menu you can click on the top ellipses and click check for updates, and if you have communication to your device, you can see it will go to our server and check, and it's showing that I have the latest firmware for my push button station and the central control unit. Another feature here is you see all my audio files listed. So if I click on one, it gives me the option to send to the push button station, to play the sound, or email it to another user to load into their button. So as I scroll down, everything's nicely laid out. You see push button configuration and then ICCU configuration. When you get into the settings on push button configuration, they're very similar to the iOS. Everything is laid out in a very easy format. Has the same ability to do enable audio playback. Has the same write and read buttons. So if I make a change, I can hit write and save that change. I do have the ability again with the top right to save it to all buttons, save it as a file, meaning a configuration file, or load a configuration file. Still have the counters information in the button. The quiet time mode allows you to turn the volumes down based on time of day. Audio update. So again, this is where I could load a new message into the button if I wanted to change my custom walk number 1. It will bring me into my files and I can switch, for example 200 East. I can say OK. It's going to ask to do the upload. So now it's uploading that new message. It's going to give you the time elapsed and the time remaining to put the new message into the button. So I've now installed a new sound into custom walk number 1. So I can hop out of here if I want and go back into settings and scroll down to my walk mode sound. It's set on custom walk number 1, but I have changed it. So if I click on enable audio playback,
200 East. Walk sign is on to cross 200 100 east.
So you can hear that that change has been made. Now I'm going to go down to the ICCU configuration. You see cabinet paired interface. This is where I can set up my interface with the cabinet. So again, the menu is very similar to the iOS, where you have the 4-channel. If you're using our 50-pin harness with the 4 cables to wire into your PET inputs to place the call and to receive your PET interval timing from the high voltage walk and don't walk load switch area. Then you also have the opportunity to go SDLC, where we can read from the load switch channels to get the PET interval timing over SDLC. This mode here still means that you're using the cable number 2 to place the PET calls. There's no additional programming on the controller needed when you use this format typically. And then you have the option to go full SDLC BIU and make your assignments. Assign the detector rack BIU, so we have 1 through 4 ability, and then matching your load switch, you have advanced options. I'm going to go back to my demo kit option. You have your phase setup. This is where you associate a button with a phase. There's information, password, date and time, preemption settings, network settings, PET isolator switches where you can place test calls, etc. So that's just a quick overview of the program. So if I'm done, I can just hit disconnect, and that will take me back out of the program.